like you ever felt. Oh my God, this just keeps getting worse.
Breakthrough media. Truth always wins out in the end because it outlives falsehood.
Are you listening?
The above and below tactic.
This is used by a lot of different groups, communist groups, special interest groups, political factions, you name it. Basically how it works is they have groups that are in power, small handful of individuals who incite different groups on the ground to create incidents. So this could be, for example, a political faction that goes and has, say, nonprofits, special interest groups, hired thugs, you name it, create incidents, protests, calls to action, public demands.
If we can't protect the children, we can't protect anybody.
Let's see. Leftists protect the children? Let me count the
If you
ways.
see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
When it comes to Trump and or his supporters, the left strains at a gnat. When it comes to themselves, they swallow a camel.
Stopping traffic in the streets, whatever they choose to do, depending on the level of intensity they want to stage it at. They create demand. They make it appear that the public wants a change. Politicians respond to it, media covers it, right? And then once they start covering it, once it appears in the public consciousness that the public wants something to change, then the politicians who incited this entire facade, this entire illusion, take that and they call for policy for change, or they call for investigations.
That's why it's impeach Trump with no evidence.
This is how they use the tactic of above and below to do whatever they want in our society. It's a tactic that allows a small group of individuals to incite change in society. And I think when it comes to understanding the nature of what we see taking place, it's important to understand how this works and how other related strategies that tie to this work.
You wrote a pretty harsh letter to Secretary Ben Carson, the HUD secretary and former neurosurgeon who grew up in public housing, who grew up in poverty, who now has a plan to gut the Fair Housing Act, which is pretty shocking news to learn about Mr. Carson.
You liar!
What would you say to him if he happens to have his TV on MSNBC this morning?
Well, I sent him a letter, and he sent me a letter, claiming that I had no manners, etc. I basically said to my staff, I really don't have time to be bothered with somebody who doesn't know the difference between REO and OEO.
What?
I mean, this guy just doesn't have the background, the capability, the intelligence to do the job. He doesn't know what he's doing.
You liar!
They're so hate-filled and desperate to get rid of Trump, they're using a hybrid strategy. The Cloward-Piven Alinsky hybrid along with above and below. Check this out. This article is being considered for deletion in Wikipedia. Imagine that. Here are the details to this hybrid strategy. Please be informed and please share this. Oh yeah, and how could I forget? Epstein didn't kill himself.